Page Tunes read. From the pages of Page Tunes magazine, monthly number 2, February 2024. Story and artwork by Michael Zigerlig. Royal Reunion. The Hekhet Museum stood stoically in the hushed embrace of the night, its dimly lit halls echoing with the whispered secrets of ancient artifacts. Within these walls, Victor Monroe, the museum's dedicated curator, found himself enveloped in a moment of bliss. In the soft glow of exhibit lights, he shared a tender moment with his love, Anne-Marie Dupont. The air was thick with a sense of history, but an impending threat cast a shadow over the tranquility. Victor's joyous facade belied the underlying turmoil he faced. The museum, his life's work, stood on the brink of financial collapse. The weight of impending ruin pressed on him, threatening to shatter not only his dreams, but also the future he envisioned with Anne-Marie. One fateful evening, as the museum's doors creaked closed, Victor found himself in conversation with a wealthy collector whose eyes gleamed with desire for a piece of ancient history. The collector proposed a bargain: the sale of one of the museum's most prized possessions, a relic of the past, a mummy named Amun. Amun's silent presence, entwined with the rich tapestry of history that bound him to Nefertari, added an aura of mystery to the museum's collection. Their union, a testament to a love that transcended the sands of time, saw Amun and Nefertari married during their earthly existence. As the artifacts stood as witnesses to their shared past, the museum became a sanctuary where the echoes of their ancient vows resonated, allowing visitors to glimpse the profound connection that endured beyond the realms of mortality. Reluctantly, Victor agreed to the deal, envisioning a future where financial stability would intertwine with his love for Anne-Marie. The moment Victor left the collector's residence, the mummy's ancient energy was surging and soon breaking the centuries-old constraints that had confined him. With a singular purpose burning within, Amun embarked on a relentless journey to reunite with his long-lost love, Nefertari. The city awoke to a series of chilling headlines, each one recounting Amun's destructive path. News reports flooded the media with accounts of an unstoppable force carving a swath of chaos and death through the streets. Amun's ancient wrath knew no bounds, and the city trembled as it witnessed a malevolent energy from a bygone era. Panic gripped the populace as authorities struggled to contain the unleashed fury of the reanimated mummy. Amun's presence became a relentless force of nature. The echoes of his rampage reverberated through the city, creating an atmosphere of dread and sand that hung heavy in the air. As Victor, immersed in the shadows of the museum, caught glimpses of the unfolding catastrophe on the television screen, a knot tightened in his stomach. The weight of responsibility bore down on him as he realized the magnitude of the ancient force he had unwittingly set loose upon the unsuspecting city. Fearing for Nefertari's safety, he hastily devised a plan to protect her from the impending storm. As he secluded himself in the Hekhet Museum, news reports inundated the airwaves with harrowing accounts of Amun's rampage. The city became a battleground of chaos, with the once bustling streets now echoing with the cries of panic. Each news bulletin brought fresh horror, detailing how Amun carved through the urban landscape, leaving a trail of devastation. His unstoppable march became a testament to the retribution he sought, an ancient force reawakened and wreaking havoc in the modern world. The news painted a vivid picture of Amun's relentless pursuit of Nefertari, his destructive path tearing apart the very fabric of the city. Panic spread like wildfire, and authorities struggled to contain the unprecedented threat. Each report, served as a grim reminder of the consequences Victor faced for meddling with forces beyond his understanding. Nefertari's safety became his sole focus, overshadowed by the undeniable truth that Amun's destructive journey was inexorably linked to the choices Victor had made. The relentless flickering of the television screen cast an eerie glow in the dimly lit room of the Hekhet Museum. Victor Monroe, seated in front of the broadcast, watched in horrified silence as the news reports detailed the havoc wreaked by Amun across the city. Each frame depicted a cityscape twisted by chaos, and fear clung to Victor's thoughts like a vice. The valuable Nefertari became a pressing concern for Victor. Fueled by the potential financial ruin that loomed, Victor knew he had to act swiftly. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, he carried Nefertari to a nearby warehouse. As he entered the warehouse, the echoes of Amun's destructive trail still resonated in Victor's mind. The building, with its cold and cavernous interior, became a temporary vault, a refuge from the storm that raged outside. Nefertari, carefully secured amidst the shadows, represented not just a piece of history, but a lifeline in the face of potential financial ruin. Victor, driven by a primal instinct to protect his livelihood, took measures to barricade the warehouse doors. Every creak and groan of the building became a haunting reminder of the impending clash between ancient forces and the financial security of the museum. Days blurred into nights as Victor, caught in the grip of uncertainty, monitored the news reports with a mix of dread and anticipation. The city's suffering continued unabated, bearing witness to the collision of past and present. In the confines of the dimly lit warehouse, Victor Monroe found himself in an uneasy solitude. With each passing day, Victor's anxious anticipation transformed into a strange mix of resolve and hope. Nefertari, securely sheltered within the confines of the wooden box, stood as a symbol of Victor's determination. In the quiet moments between monitoring the news reports, he found solace in daydreams of a future where he and Anna-Marie would be free from the shadows cast by ancient forces. Amidst the artifacts and the dim light, Victor began to plan his wedding. Mental sketches of the ceremony, the vows, and the life awaiting him after the chaos subsided filled his mind. He envisioned a simple yet beautiful celebration, a testament to a love that transcended the boundaries of circumstance. In the warehouse's stillness, Victor allowed himself moments of respite, imagining a life beyond the barricaded doors. The city outside continued to reel under the onslaught of Amun's fury, but within the confines of the warehouse, Victor built a haven of dreams. The muted glow of the television screen flickered, casting a pale illumination in the warehouse. As Victor Monroe continued to monitor the news reports, a sudden revelation emerged from the shadows of the unfolding chaos. The voice on the television announced, with an air of both disbelief and relief, that the mummy, Amun, had mysteriously disappeared. The city, once a battleground of destruction, now bore the hushed whispers of a ceaseless chaos, suddenly halted. News reports shifted from tales of death and devastation to a bewildered narrative of an ancient force vanishing into thin air. Victor's heart, heavy with the burden of uncertainty, felt a flicker of cautious optimism. Victor stood before the barricaded doors, his hand hesitating on the cold metal. He felt a strange mixture of excitement and anxiety, unsure of what awaited him beyond the threshold. As Victor cautiously stepped into the outside world, the remnants of Amun's rampage lay scattered like the forgotten relics of a nightmare. The city streets, once marred by chaos, now bore the scars of an ancient force mysteriously vanished. The Hekhet Museum loomed in the distance, its silhouette a haunting reminder of the choices that had brought Victor to this point. Victor navigated the streets that were once marred by chaos, carrying Nefertari's wooden box on a trolley. As he moved through the city, a scene of tireless efforts unfolded around him. City workers, clad in reflective vests and armed with tools, swarmed the previously devastated streets. The air was filled with the sounds of restoration, the hum of power tools, the rhythmic pounding of hammers, and the distant buzz of city life being meticulously stitched back together. Utility workers untangled twisted power lines, restoring electricity to buildings that had stood in silent darkness for days. Construction crews worked diligently to repair the structural damage inflicted by Amun's destructive path. The echoes of destruction gave way to the practical and necessary efforts of reconstruction as the city began to reclaim its normalcy, with every nail hammered into place and every brick carefully laid. Victor couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at the resilience and efficiency displayed by the city workers. The contrast between the chaos he had witnessed and the swift response of these dedicated individuals painted a vivid picture of practicality and renewal. He approached the museum and entered. The once dimly lit halls now basked in the harsh glow of daylight, revealing a scene that defied all logic. Both mummies, Amun and Nefertari, stood proudly on display, as if untouched by the chaos that had unfolded. A shiver ran down Victor's spine as he approached the display. Confusion and disbelief warred within him. He turned to Nefertari's wooden box, seeking reassurance. She remained within. Driven by an unrelenting need for answers, Victor approached the second mummy, the one that had stood beside Amun. His hands trembled as he uncovered the face, revealing Anna Marie. But instead of the warmth of life, her face bore the cold, lifeless gaze of death. Victor's world crumbled. The shock rendered him immobile, sinking to the ground in a cascade of emotions. The woman he loved, the very reason for his desperate decisions, lay before him as a lifeless shell. Tears blurred his vision as he grappled with the weight of his choices. Amidst the devastation, Nefertari's wooden box became a silent witness to the tragedy. Unseen by Victor, the lid of the box shifted ever so slightly, and a subtle rustle filled the air. In a delicate dance between life and death, Nefertari moved silently out of the box, her ethereal presence embracing Victor. It was the last thing he ever felt. If you've been captivated by the magic of this audiobook, here's how you can immerse yourself even further and support the creation of more enthralling tales for your enjoyment. Unlock the ultimate listening journey with a yearly subscription on pagetunes.com. No interruptions, ad-free, and exclusive access to the full library of audiobooks and ebooks. Download and enjoy captivating stories offline, anytime, anywhere. Whether through subscription or individual purchases, you play a vital role in bringing more enchanting stories to life. Explore the merch store. From cozy hoodies to stylish mugs and much more, every purchase directly contributes to crafting more thrilling tales for your pleasure. Thank you and happy listening.